All right, it's time to begin. Hello, my dear traders. How's everyone doing today? A wonderful Monday, the 18th of March 2024. Thomas here. I'm an analyst and a trader with OLYMP TRADE, and today we'll be conducting the following trading session for you. How have you been? How are your trading results? And are there any news that you would like me to discuss? Maybe some questions, some issues you want me to comment on? Yeah, pretty much any questions related to trading. I'm very happy to answer them. I will be very happy to throw in a few cents in my from my experience, from my opinion. So please do share your comments. So in the meantime, let me begin with a few technical ideas. I would like to put it this way. So brand, first of all, what is interesting with brand is we are finally breaking. So we finally managed to break out of this almost 3 month long price corridor or price range. So while Brent was trading somewhere between 75 and 84, 83 and a half dollars per barrel. And today we are already trading at 85 and a half almost. And this looks like a pretty significant breakout because if you, so what it takes is you need to place this line here, so this resistance level, and now it becomes clear, pretty much very easy to see where this very important level of resistance and also support, depending on how you look at it. So it used to be a very strong resistance level, and now from now on, I think it is going to act as a pretty strong support level because we are already trading above it. And now all these traders, all these market participants that, especially in the past maybe month since the beginning of February, so they were short selling these assets, so hoping that oil prices would drop, but the opposite happened. And right now we are trading, as I said, above this line, and now it is going to act as a support level. So in case price drops somewhere towards 84, this is going to be a pretty strong support level and a pretty nice opportunity to enter this asset, to enter this trade with a very short stop loss, and this in turn means that you have a very strong reward potential. So very short stop loss and pretty strong potential for up trade, for well, pretty much, as I say, the risk to reward ratio will be very competitive and advantageous. So, what's the deal about our Crash STM 300? So, unfortunately, okay, so it will open in exactly 30 minutes, my local time. Unfortunately, for some reason, this asset closed on, well, what was that? That was on Thursday, I think. So, last Thursday it got closed, and since then, it is under maintenance. I don't know what exactly is happening here, because I'm not really a developer. I'm not really a kind of this mathematician guy who deals with assets, quotes, liquidity, etc. I'm a trader, so I know a great deal about how indicators work. I know a great deal about strategies, but I don't know so much about the technical aspect of trading and the technical aspect of our trading platform, because I mean, you have to be a programmer or some project manager of high level in order to know exactly what happened. But we are waiting. I'm also excited about this asset. I do love trading with this asset, and I hope that it will be back online quite soon. Now, my next topic before I switch to your questions, or let me have a look at the chat and let me see. So yeah, I answered about Crash STM. Follow me for okay, OLYMP TRADE is already down. All right, so no questions just yet, just highs and welcome. So hello to everyone who has already joined us, and for those who are joining. And so let me say a few words about Bitcoin, right? Because it's quite so. It's funny how not so many people are talking about Nvidia, which also showed pretty much almost 100% growth, more than 40% at its high, at its peak. So since the 1st of January, pretty much, while we were trading at somewhere close to 500, so 500, as you can see, there were 1, 2, 3, almost one almost successful 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So somewhat 5 attempts to break above this strong psychological level of resistance. And finally, on the what's the date? On the 7th of January, with this pretty big green candlestick. So this green candlestick pretty much defined all further movement, all further price movement of this asset, because usually on such high volumes and such big size of the candlestick itself, it usually is pretty much 90% chance, especially taking into consideration the previous uptrend. So that was almost a 99% guaranteed win, and so Nvidia after that jumped almost 40%, like almost 50%. So this stock, yeah, as you can see, has was very much posted a lot of gains for those who were what's the right word? I don't want to say, I wanted to say brave enough to buy, but it's not about bravery. It's all about really executing your strategy and waiting for certain patterns, and about being ready to take advantage of certain market situations. Because, as I say, in my opinion, yes, trading requires some form of being bold, being courageous in a way, not being afraid about potential losses. But in what is more important is obviously executing your trading strategy and knowing your pattern. So this technical pattern was a very strong indication that, well, I mean, I probably wouldn't have imagined this much of a move, like price move. I would probably assume another $100, maybe $200, not 400, 450, but you never know. And at the same time, even if you were aiming at just 100, maybe $150 of profits, that that would already be like risk to reward ratio of 10 to 1 at least. So now it is kind of confusing. So I don't know where prices will move next, because we saw this red candlestick, I call it profit taking candlestick, right? Because many people bought here and they sold here, or they were selling here. Obviously, many companies they have, or many hedge funds, they have huge positions and they are not able to buy within one day or sell within one day, so they have to they have to sell gradually, like every day a little bit, or every week a little bit, and that's how they close their winning positions. And also the same is true for their losing positions, because no one wants to sort of press this market order and sort of make and cause a very strong price move. Instead, everyone tries to buy a little bit here, sell a little bit there, and so no one really aims, or I mean, like, no so serious traders, big firms, they are not trying to they never try to sell here on top. Instead, they operate with the so-called average size, so average price. So they buy a little bit here, a little bit there, then on this pullback they might buy into a little bit more, and on average they have this like X price, and their average exit price, they sell a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and so they sell pretty much all along this price movement. All right, guys, so I'm talking about fundamental stuff, so maybe this might be a little bit boring, but the reality is when you make profits, especially in Forex, and you realize that it only takes 10 to 15 minutes of analysis per day, well, I don't really think that it's boring, especially when you cash in pretty high prices. Now, going back to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, what is my next forecast? What do I think is going to happen now? As of now, I would say that the current picture is quite... so in my opinion, everything still looks bullish, despite this little breakdown. So our previous high was around 73.5, close to 75,000. So currently we are trading near 68, and so we have this a little bit of duality here, right? So on the one hand, clearly this picture resembles the head and shoulders pattern, and we might see a little bit of pretty strong resistance. As you can see, for almost 2 days we have been trading here at around 68,000. so we have 1, 2, 3. So this 68,500 is going to be a very significant, very important level of so either resistance or support. And at the same time, clearly, when I look at the RSI indicator, I can clearly see that we are currently not overbought. And I see these two candlesticks, these two shadows of these daily candlesticks looking downwards, especially this one, which is usually a strong indication of a trend continuation and upwards continuation. But obviously, on weekly time frame, everything looks pretty much overbought, and this red candlestick is a doji. So this is a doji reversal candlestick. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. How far can we go? So can we go towards 100,000? I think yes, we will see such prices sometime this year, but in the short term perspective, I'm not sure. And also we have to take into consideration that the so-called halving of Bitcoin is just 3 to 4 weeks away from us, because there is no concrete date, but it's going to happen around the 25th of April, which is, so as I say, 4.5 weeks away from the current moment of time. So let's wait and see. And for those who are still holding profitable positions, and if you manage to buy it here, then everything is great. If you are thinking about entering positions right now, then I definitely recommend setting shorter stop losses. So, and in my opinion, it is better to sort of enter a trade and then get kicked out by stop loss by a short stop loss a few times and then catch a winning trade, instead of rather than keeping a very long stop loss, and then you might be less willing to close that trade. And I mean, I usually operate with a very short stop loss so that it allows me to sort of re-enter my trading positions a few times, instead of just sort of always constantly readjusting my stop loss and sort of moving it down and down and down. And then I never want to be holding a position against the predominant trend. What is most useful time frame for Forex? Well, in my opinion, obviously it is, well, there isn't like one most useful time frame, but I always start with daily, then I go to 4 hours, then I go to 1 hour, and then obviously I go to 15 minutes, and somewhere on this 15-minute time frame I try to find the ideal entry point. So that's what I'm aiming for. Another interesting point that I would like to mention is, so let's compare Bitcoin and Ethereum. So with Bitcoin, from our highs of 73.5, we are currently trading at 68. So let's imagine 68.5. So we are just 5,000. We dropped $5,000 from this current highs, which is around probably like 7 or 8%. And at the same time, if we look at Ethereum, so on Ethereum from 4,100 or 4,100, we dropped all the way to 3,600, which is almost 15%. So this simply confirms that Ethereum is more volatile than Bitcoin. And so it usually follows Bitcoin's moves, but it does so with twice speed. So the velocity is 2 times. So when Bitcoin grows by 10%, Ethereum usually grows by 15, 17, maybe even 20%. And the same is true for correction. So Bitcoin dropped by 7%, and with Ethereum, yeah, we can see almost 11%, maybe 12%. It is a little bit more volatile. So when someone asks you what volatility is, this is a very good example that pretty much explains that what volatility means. And so in this case, it's how fast Bitcoin, how much faster Ethereum moves in comparison to Bitcoin. What else is interesting? So I look at assets like Solana, and despite correction on Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana is not correcting at all. So this can signify the start in the so-called altcoins index. So when Bitcoin and Ethereum, their like trend, their uptrend is almost exhausted. Now at the same time on cryptocurrencies like Solana and others, everything is just beginning, and we can see that yeah, this is a pretty good picture. So from the 28th of February, Solana doubled in price. So from 100, now we are at 205. And at the same time, if we look at Bitcoin, it's from the 28th January here, so 50,000. So it's up less than 50%, or I would say closer to maybe 40%. So this is it. This is our current situation, and now we are kind of, I don't want to say that we are in this decisive point, but I mean, definitely we are overbought if we look at Bitcoin on this global scale, right? So from 40,000 to 68,000 without almost any significant corrections, not talking about these or such one-day corrections from 69 to 60 and then all the way back within 1 day. But at the same time, I think major investors, like big investors, are still greedy, and not everyone has sort of bought everything that they wanted in this asset, and I'm pretty sure that we are going to see even higher highs, right? And at the same time, we can play, we can trade with altcoins, and as you can see, all of them are kind of now moving much faster and much stronger than Bitcoin, than the so-called crypto market leaders. And as you can see, so for example, Dogecoin, it also doubled, not just doubled, but went up by 250% from the 28th of February. So while yeah, so it's quite interesting how altcoins are now moving the markets, and how much interest is now attracted, is drawn to these altcoins, because everyone understands that altcoins are pretty low in market capitalization compared to Bitcoin, to Ethereum, to all these major cryptocurrencies, and that it is so much easier to sort of kick them up, push them to the moon, right? As they say in the crypto community. So I want to increase my fundamental analysis. Any tips for Forex and stock? Well, obviously, I would definitely just start with typing something like fundamental analysis on Forex on YouTube, and I would watch a few videos, because obviously I don't have a ready presentation right in front of me, and that's a pretty vast topic. But yeah, fundamental analysis is quite important, and fundamental analysis pretty much answers the so-called question of potential. And this question is this: so how, when you have a nice entry point, so let's imagine you want to trade, you've identified a good entry point technically. For example, here in March 2000, the 12th of March 2023. So this breakout pattern, but how far, how strong can Bitcoin go? So imagine you buy here, and now you start holding on to this position, and the question is, when do I exit, right? And you feel like you want to exit maybe here at 34,000, maybe at 40,000, but in my opinion, the more correct, the more proper exit would be, well, I don't know, I would probably still be holding Bitcoin despite its current price trading, that it's trading at around 67,000, because it has a lot of upside potential. And then you need to think about the fundamental factors. So how many people use Bitcoin? What's its market capitalization? What about its how is it used by people all over the globe? Do they use it for to store value? What's going on with the global economy and other things of that nature? And what helps in such case is usually analyzing news, analyzing market feed, and seeing what's happening. So another example, since you asked about fundamental analysis, so Tesla is a good example of fundamental analysis. So why is Tesla trading at $163 right now? Well, because the demand is not so strong, and that is why I'm holding this very tiny position of $400, which is a very small position. I should have probably invested more in this with the in the short on the short sell side. But nonetheless, this is a very interesting example here. And obviously, if you look at news that follow Tesla, you are going to see that basically everyone. So Tesla has recently reduced their output, their prices for their retail prices, because there isn't much. Well, I mean, there's pretty high demand for Tesla, but now Tesla is also facing competition. So Tesla is no doubt the market, or it used to be the leader in the electric car manufacturing industry, but now Tesla is facing competition, especially from many Chinese suppliers, producers, auto manufacturers, and also many European manufacturers like, I don't know, like Volkswagen, Hyundai, which is a Korean one, obviously, Hyundai, I think Toyota, Mercedes. Almost everyone now starts Porsche. So everyone has their own electric EV model, and now Tesla is not alone. And if you look at Tesla, well, you might have many questions about its pricing, right? Because they had this premium, their exclusivity premium, because they were exclusive, and so Tesla. There are many things that Tesla owners complain about, but then when you compare Tesla with this Mercedes electric vehicle, well, now Tesla doesn't seem to be much such a great competitor to it. to it? I don't know. It's a very interesting question. So just giving you some food for thought. But this explains a lot, a great deal, why at the same time, while Nasdaq index has been increasing, has been on a rise recently. So Tesla stock has been dropping since pretty much last December. So we saw this high on the 27th of December, and since then Tesla has been declining despite this small channel here, but overall Tesla has been declining. So that's how things are with Tesla. And fundamental analysis is here to explain why this is happening, because technically speaking, I would say yes, this is a downwards channel, but the fundamental analysis is here to answer us how far it can drop, and I think it can drop all the way to maybe 100. And then we need to look at Tesla's fundamentals, and in this for such purpose, I usually go to this website, which is called FinViz, and you can get all the necessary fundamentals. So, wow, there's so much here, so much information. I don't know if if everyone needs. So 13%, most of it is owned by Elon Musk, and that's why he is he's this second or third richest person in the world right now. I'm not sure which position, because his net worth is in stocks. It's not in cash, but it is in stocks. It is mostly in Tesla stock. And if he owns, let's imagine 10% out of this 13% is his. So it means that his net worth is at least $160 billion with B, and maybe even more. All right, but we can look at Tesla's income, sales, statements. We can see the company's so total revenue is growing here year to year. On a year-to-year basis, you can buy access probably to more data here. Gross profit is this. Net operating income. Net income is 15 billion, which is pretty huge, right? But we also need to see trends, so quarterly, and we can look at quarterly results. So on quarterly results, we can see that 2 quarters ago it was this, and last quarter it was this much. No, not that. 12, 15, 23. Hold on a sec. Okay, no. It's the previous quarter is this one, 2 quarters ago, the one before the previous one, and the most recent one. So such data gives you, and yeah, market capitalization. Well, so much information. Who wants to know more about fundamental factors? Well, you need to pretty much study all these numbers, and trust me, it's not a very boring thing to learn. In fact, it's quite interesting and quite exciting, and I think it would take you about 2-3 weeks to get this general understanding about these numbers. So you don't need to know all of them, and many of them they repeat. For example, EPS next year, EPS next quarter, so they just have this tendency to repeat themselves. The most important ones are price to earnings, which basically compares the current stock price with with its profits, with its net profits, and you can compare it with maybe Meta. It has this high, and also there are companies like Lucid Motors, which is also a luxury car manufacturer from the United States. They have pretty nice cars, but well, they don't have too many sales, and they are basically losing money, right? This is their negative cash flow. And we can scroll to their statements, and we can see what's going on with their net income, and their net income is only increasing. So, I mean, for me, that's always an open question. So what's going to happen with these companies when they for how long can such a company sustain such big losses. So because their net income equals almost 40% of their market capitalization, and just saying, right? So it's a very interesting thing. So yeah, fundamental analysis. I love reading stories about markets, about fundamental analysis and things of that nature. Today 6 trades, 1 without losing. Nice, that's a nice result. So congratulations. Question. All right, so there is a comment about Elon. So I heard that Elon is banned from company to post anything related to Tesla. I haven't heard this news. I would not be surprised because what's happening with Tesla, and so what's the deal here? So the deal here is that Elon Musk has such a strong influence on Tesla stock for his comments and for his sense that I would say yes, it's possible that he's not allowed to make public comments about Tesla company and their stocks because this might lead in sudden increase or decrease in Tesla price, and yeah, I mean that's very logical. Okay, let me remove this trend line, because yeah, if you, for example, if you're such an influential person and you start commenting on your company's future in and not just publishing, not talking about earnings report or like sales, but just start saying your your ideas, your random thoughts, the shareholders of that company not always are going to be happy. All right, so do you guys have any more questions for me? If yes, I will be very, very happy to answer them. If not, then I think we can stop. We can finish our webinar already. So I think I've answered most of your questions, and I think we have a nice start for this week. And so I would like to remind you just a few final thoughts, a few final comments, that don't forget that we have more trading webinars this week. Pretty much we do at least two live trading seminars per week. So check the schedule in our on our social network on Facebook, and also you can obviously see it here on YouTube. So please join our events, and we are here 24/7. OLYMP TRADE, and if your current level is expert or advanced, you can get at least 1 consultation. So between 1 and 4 consultations per month. They are free of charge, and all you need to do is you need to contact either customer support requesting your free educational sessions, or if you have your analysts, your contacts directly, you can text your account manager directly. They will be happy to help you. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful trading week. I wish you all a fantastic week, nice trading results, profits, new ideas, new strategies, and I will see you next week. Bye bye. Have a great week.